Hi there, good morning to you, and thank you for joining with us today. Recently I got a package in the post. It was in a bit of a state. There was some frayed string, even a bit of elastic which I suspect the postman had put round it. But there was something written on it, and the words were "damaged in transit," and I thought, life can be a bit like that. We should be marked, fragile, handled with care, but we're like packages in a long and bumpy journey. We've been crushed, maybe life hasn't turned out the way we had hoped. Instead of being handled like fine china, we are damaged in transit. I'm told that when the Mona Lisa was stolen from the Louvre in Paris in 1911, it was missing for 2 years, but more people came to stare at the blank space where the canvas had stood instead of the masterpiece when it's hung there. Maybe that points to a tendency to fail to notice precious things when we have them, and then when they're not there, we're aware of the blank spaces in our lives. The walls of our lives are often crowded with Mona Lisas, but we don't notice them. It's always so easy just to take things for granted. Helen Keller once said it would be a blessing if everybody was struck blind or deaf for a few days. Darkness would make them more appreciative of sight, and silence would teach them the joys of sound. Blank spots on the wall, the space where a painting once hung, an empty chair where a loved one once sat. Each of us will confront those empty spots in our life, and we will need comfort. Sometimes our comfort will come from a friend. That's what friends are for. Our friends often bring healing when someone like us has been damaged in transit. And I've always felt that that should be the real strength of the church. We should always be there for folk who need that reassuring hand. Through the years I've heard people talk of when they thought they couldn't carry on. And all of us will know that feeling. And sometimes a friend is just the one that brings the comfort that's needed. I remember reading of a 15-year-old boy who was diagnosed as having leukemia. What a burden for such a young fellow to carry. But he had an aunt who decided to send the young fellow some flowers, and she phoned the florist and made an arrangement to have the flowers sent to the hospital. And she told the young lass on the other end who answered the phone all about her nephew. And when the flowers arrived at the hospital, the young fellow read the card from his aunt. Then he saw a second card, and it said, "I took your order. I work at the florist. I had leukemia when I was 7. I'm 22 years old now. Good luck. My heart goes out to you. Sincerely, Laura." His face lit up. Here was a young fellow in hospital filled with millions of pounds of the most sophisticated medical equipment. He was being treated by expert doctors, nurses with medical training, totalling hundreds of years even, but it was a wee lassie in a flower shop who, by taking the time to care and being willing just to go with what her heart told her to go with, that gave that wee laddie hope to carry on. Sometimes a friend will do it for us. Give us the courage. It especially helps if that friend has been where we now are. It means a lot if a friend has walked in our shoes. Bless you today, especially if you're feeling that there's an empty place in your life. And I hope someone is there for you.